generation, the Windrush. It seems as though other cultures work together and the black culture doesn't seem, or black people don't seem to be working together as much as the Asians or other cultures. The Windrush generation, the Windrush, the Windrush, the Windrush, the Windrush generation. Windrush generation, the Windrush generation where Caribbeans that came over to the UK from different Caribbean countries during the 50s, and they came over to England because we thought that England was kind of like a promised land for us. The country, the UK, was kind of like the motherland to us, as what we would call Africa now. Well, the Caribbeans or some Caribbeans saw England like a motherland. So we came over to get jobs and to kind of help the country rebuild itself after the Second World War. They really needed a lot of people to come over. So we came over during that period, and that would be your Windrush. The boat was actually called Windrush that we went on.
Empire Windrush.
Well, the Windrush was a troop ship in the German Navy, but it was actually captured by the British. So that ship went to the Caribbean and picked up a number of Caribbean people who, some of them had served in the war already, and others who came to this country in 1948. So these are the pioneers.
Nobody really talks about the Windrush pioneers and when they came, how they were the pillars. They came over here, a lot of them had good education, but they took up manual jobs. They took up jobs that were really, people didn't really want here.
How important is it for young Londoners or people in Britain to know what the Windrush it gave to Britain?
It is good that we are among the living and we can tell them that we came in the Windrush, we cleaning the hospitals, we run the buses and trains, and today Britain is a multicultural society and functioning, and we're a part of it, and our great-grandchildren are a part of it.
So on the 22nd of June 1948, 492 West Indians made the long journey from Jamaica to England. And places such as here, Windrush Square, in the centre of Brixton, are great for commemorating the arrival of the Windrush. However, what is even more important is the contribution that these Windrush pioneers had on rebuilding Britain after the Second World War. And productions like the one we've just seen will go a long way in educating the new generation of Britons.
Throughout my growing up, I have noticed that some of us as young black people are not seen to be achieving the same amount of success as other groups in society. There is an apparent lack of unity amongst us. We all tend to fight down rather than help each other to get to where we need to be. It hasn't always been like this, but in my lifetime, I have seen the situation in the UK and across the world get worse. It seems as though everyone speaks of the problem, but the majority do not want to help come up with solutions. It seems as though there are no great black community leaders anymore, speaking out overtly, meaning openly, about the real problems we face, or at least we don't really hear of them. Most are underground doing great works within the UK, but we don't recognise it. As a people, it looks as though we have given up trying to keep our race in the race of self-development, improvement and achieving. Not to say that we're in competition or in a race with any other races, because no one wins the race in racism, but it seems as though other cultures work together and the black culture doesn't seem, or black people don't seem to be working together as much as the Asians or other cultures. That's why I mentioned that. We are poor physically, mentally and spiritually. We have cut ourselves off from our greatness for some crazy reason, and this has obviously translated down to the youth of today. Our lifestyle, actions and our mindset, or our minds, are not as they should be. This is why we are acting the way we do currently. If we take a look at ancient Africa, it is easy to see that we are the pioneers of the modern world. We had the first schools, universities, hospitals and holy places. which means we had the first teachers, scientists, astronomers, doctors, priests, scribes, and so on. If we look at African black people across the world right now, it seems as if we are not the same great people that we used to be. This is because we are not doing the great things that we did anymore. And the question we need to ask ourselves is what on and above earth has happened? How did we go from being and doing great things to being and doing hardly anything considered worth? Something appears to have gone wrong along the way. We have neglected our story, culture, mindset, and way of life, and replaced it with his story, mindset, culture, and way of life. I want you to think about that. When a people's account of greatness gets taken away from them, they have nothing great to look back on. This makes them feel they have no worth in the world. This is one of the reasons why we are the way we are at the moment. It seems as though our value in the world has disappeared. In school, we learn nothing of ourselves as existing in times before slavery, if we are even taught properly about slavery. So when we look back at his story in our black minds, that's what we go back to: slavery, struggle, fight, oppression, fear, hatred, etc. It's like we are walking up a steep hill with all these psychological experiences weighing us down emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. I just want our young people to kind of exceed their own expectations. Do you understand? Try and do better than what you think you can do.